if we want to love others, it's really important that we know how to love ourselves. And so that's what I'm going to share with you today. So I'd like you to just begin breathing. Long inhale, long exhale, keeping the spine long. I like to sit up on a little blanket so that it's easier for me to keep my spine long. Inhale and exhale. Hoping that you're breathing into your belly. The more oxygen you take in, what happens is you don't have to take as many breaths, and it actually lowers your heart rate. So those nice long breaths have a definite physiological effect. So I'm going to come to my back, and I invite you to come to yours. Maybe that little blanket you were sitting on can become a little pillow. And we're going to bring the soles of our feet together. This is called bound angle, or cobbler's pose, or Baddha Konasana. Now bring your arms out to the side, palms facing up. And I invite you to focus on it could be some part of your body, but it just could be some part of your life, or one of those things that you think externally represent you that you're not very happy with. Something that you have a hard time accepting. Maybe you feel like you're clumsy. Maybe you maybe you have a hard time reaching out to other people. Just something about yourself that you're not very self-accepting of. And even if it's not something that we characteristically think of as positive, we still have to come face to face with that and acknowledge it and not push it away and not grab it to us. So can we feel loving kindness toward that aspect of the self that in everyday life on the street, we kind of begrudge and criticize? I invite you to place your hands over your heart, bringing loving kindness to some aspect of your life that you usually criticize, try to push away, sometimes grab hold of too tightly. Can you find patience and loving kindness for that aspect of the self? I would say the external self, not the true self. So inhale and exhale with your hands holding your heart. So let's come to hands and knees. We're going to do 5 rounds of cat-cow. You know cat-cow well, so I'm pressing into the palms of my hands. My hands are under my shoulders. My knees are under my hips. Lower the belly and look up. Exhale and round the back. Let's send loving kindness to the spine. Two more. Now tuck the toes. I'm going to do this way so you can maybe see better. Tuck the toes. I'm going to lift the hips, coming into downward facing dog. This is a resting pose. May not seem like it at first. We want to be as long as we can be from our sits bones through the tips of our fingers. That means we're lengthening through the underarms, lengthening through the side ribs. And then when we come to that length, then we're going to send the heart toward the mat, almost as if we're in a little bit of a cow pose. Let's take 5 more rounds of breath here. I'm sending loving kindness to my shoulder. I had a frozen shoulder 30 years ago, and I still have issues with it. And bring the knees to the mat. So we're going to come back into downward dog. And this time when we come back in, we're going to shake our head. And we're going to shake our head. We're going to shake out all the negative thoughts, any negative habits we might have. And we're just going to let all that negativity fly out of the head as we shake our head in down dog. So once again, I'm tucking my toes, bringing my hips up, lengthening through the arms, through the body. And I'm just shaking out any negative thoughts I have. Whoa. Oh my gosh, it makes me want to cry. That's so interesting. Get rid of the negative thoughts, any habits that are not life supporting. Let it go. Just let it go. And bring the knees to the mat. Loving the self all the time. All right. Place both hands on the mat. Step the right foot between the hands. We're going to step the left foot between the hands. We are in forward fold. If your hands don't reach the mat, I invite you to bring them up on blocks. It's all right if the knees are a little bent. So let's inhale, arms wide, all the way up and overhead. Bring the hands to the heart. Anahata is the chakra at the heart, and it actually means unstuck, opening the heart. The heart is unstuck. So inhale, arms up overhead. Exhale, forward fold. We're coming into that forward fold with hands either on the mat alongside the feet or on blocks. We're going to stay here for 8 breaths. And while we're here, as we exhale, each time we exhale, we're going to exhale anger. Any anger we might have or any confusion we might have. So let's inhale and exhale anger. Inhale. Exhale confusion. Continue with this on your own. You know what's going on in your mind, in your heart, and your body. Bring the arms out wide with a flat back. Bring the arms up and overhead. So mountain pose is in Sanskrit, it's called Tadasana. Tad is mountain and asana is pose or movement, so Tadasana. So let's find Tadasana. We're going to make the feet parallel. And when I say parallel, I'm talking about the outside of the feet parallel. I'm going to tuck the tailbone under, lift the pubis, raise the arches. Notice that when you do that, the kneecaps come up. Bring the muscles in the lower leg, the calves into the bone, and then the upper legs bring the muscles to the bone as well. Tuck the tailbone under, lift the pubis, bring the shoulders to the ears, take them back, slide the shoulders down the back. Okay, now tuck the chin slightly so the neck is longer. We're in Tadasana. Bring the hands to the heart. Can we choose to love this body? It is our home. It is a home. It is a sacred dwelling place. And for all the problems and the frustration and maybe anger that we have or distaste that we have for the body, can we choose to love the body? Noticing this body is strong, this body is vibrant, sending love to this body. I am strong, I am vibrant. My body does so many things for me every day I don't even notice. What I notice was when it's not doing what I want it to do, not when it's being there for me, being my silent foundation, my silent friend. Can I choose to love my body? I'm going to move my mat, and I know you guys know what to do, so I'm not going to worry too much. Virabhadrasana Warrior 2 sequence is where we're going now, and I want the people who don't know perhaps to have benefit of seeing it. So I was modeling for you, Dana, on Saturday when you were here. So this time you can see it from another point of view. Okay, I'm going to separate the legs. Oh, I got to come back some more. Sorry. All right. All right. Let's separate the legs. Put a block behind each ankle. Now the toes, I'm going to take my left toe and turn it toward the short end of the mat. I'm going to look down at my right foot. My right foot is parallel to the other short end of the mat. I'll lift it up and bring it in slightly, okay? Hands on hips, bring the right hip back and the left hip forward. Now bend the left knee. We're in Warrior 2. Wow. Bring the arms out, making them long, looking out over the left fingertips. Virabhadrasana 2. Arms are strong. It's a warrior pose. Can we recognize the incredible strength and power in these thighs? Wow. Can we say, thank you, thighs. Thank you, legs. Bring your hands to your hips. Parallel the feet. Heel toe the feet back together. And let's just do what looks like hula hoop. Bring the hands to the thighs. Fold over and we'll do a little cat-cow here. Let's come back upright. Separate the feet. We're doing Virabhadrasana 2 on the other side. And we're not going to do triangles, so you really don't need your blocks. I'm sorry. Okay, have it. Turn the right toes toward the short end of the mat. Look down at the left foot. It is parallel to the back side of the mat. Turn the toe in slightly. Okay. Hands on hips, bring the right hip forward and the left hip back. Wow. Feeling funny today. Bend the right knee. Look down at the right knee. It should be over the right ankle. And we don't want it falling in or falling out. So try to track it. Sometimes we say over the baby toe. Shouldn't be ahead of the ankle or behind the ankle. Send the arms out. Look out over the tip of the long finger of the right hand. And I have some issues with alignment. And breathe. You recognize the strength of your thighs. It's astonishing. Thank you, thighs. Thank you, legs. Wow. Bring your hands in to your hips. Parallel the feet. Heel toe the feet together. And we're going to shake it out. Yeah. Can I choose to love my body? Well, I don't know. I can like it all right. Love it, I don't know. I'm working on it. Oh, we have to, because we are love. At our central core, the true self, we are love. And we have to love this sacred dwelling place, this body that we live in, even though it's not what we would have ordered from a Sears catalog. So let's separate the feet. Yeah, and this is called humble horse. So we come into, the legs are like we do for goddess pose. So the butt goes down, the knees are bent, knees are over ankles, knees and feet are going in at the same angle. All right, the back is long. Now, we're going to bring the arms behind the back, clasp the hands, and that's a real challenge to me. All right. Whoa. Humble horse. And now, we're going to fold forward in this humble horse pose with the arms up. Thank you, legs. Thank you, thighs. Thank you, shoulders. Thank you, arms. Slide the hands down the legs and push upright. Okay, I think we'll come back into that again. So let's just roll the hips around and shake it out. Maybe do some cat-cow, making sure that we're taking good care of this amazing spine that we have. So coming back to center, separating the legs, sending the toes out. The knees are going to be angled in the same way the toes are. Coming into what we usually call goddess pose. And then bringing the hands behind the back. And come up. And slide the hands down the legs and come up. And what I haven't said yet and should have said is listen to the body, listen to the body, listen to the body. So let's step to the top of our mat. Inhale, exhale, forward fold. Exhale, anger. Exhale, confusion. Half lift to lengthen the spine. Broaden across the collarbone. Forward fold. Bring the hands to the mat. Walk the feet back and come into what we would call plank. So hands are under shoulders. We're up on our toes. Now, this is a dance. The people who developed this call this a dance. I love dance for the belly. You'll find out why. Because we're going to come down to our forearms and back up to our arms. Holy mackerel, it's really, really hard for me. Down to our forearms, back up. I just don't have that strength I need. Now you decide if it's too much for you. Do what your body tells you. I'm going to come down to my forearms and I'm going to stay there for a minute. And you know, this almost requires more of my core than being in a regular plank. A love dance for the belly. Bring the knees to the mat. Whoa. Toes together, knees apart. Slide back into child's pose. I like child's pose with my arms alongside my body and my hands by my feet. So you'll see me do that sometimes, but if you're better off with your arms out in front, that's fine. Do what your body tells you to do. This is your class. This is about you. Oh, and let's come up from that. Okay. So, once again, bring the forearms to the mat and clasp the fingers. And walk the knees back. We're coming into dolphin. Dolphin is downward dog on forearms. So tuck the toes under, lift the hips, possibly walk the feet in closer, possibly not. Let's breathe 5 long breaths here. So anahata, that's a chakra at the heart, and it literally means unstuck. Open the heart. Breathing love to yourself. Breathing forgiveness to yourself. Breathing patience to the self. Lower the knees. That was probably 5. Come back to child's pose. We're going to do some more of that. So, oh. You know, we have a saying in the Christian tradition, love others as you love yourself. And I read recently, come back to the forearms, clasp the hands. I read recently that somebody said we should say, love yourself as you love others, because there are things that we would never do to other people that we do to ourselves. And that's really, that's really a crime. That's really sad. So let's lift the feet up. Walk the feet in if you feel like it. 8 rounds of breath here. So today I was at a luncheon meeting with white tablecloth, and I spilled a whole glass of water on the table. Yeah, but we handled it. Things like this happen. Am I going to beat myself up? No. Am I going to leave the meeting? No. I'm going to go get another glass of water. Come to hands and knees. Come back to child's pose. Sometimes I like child's pose with my knees together because you get the pressure of the thighs against the belly. And reaching my arms out overhead is really, really good to lengthen through my underarms and my upper arms. So let's do dolphin again. We're going to come back to hands and knees, clasp the hands, tuck the toes, lift the hips. So what is it that you want to forgive yourself for? How easy it is to forgive others and not so easy to forgive yourself. We're actually supposed to stay in this for 8 breaths. Lower the knees, that would be 8 breaths. Coming back to child's pose, taking a mini shavasana, using relaxation to incorporate all the good from the asana. Okay, so coming up on your knees. This is camel pose. Camel pose is a real heart opener. It's a back bend. And, I read a lot that back bends are often what keeps us from having complete a full back bends is fear more than anything, because we're moving in a direction that we don't know, we can't see, but that's what life is. We're always moving in direction. We don't know really what's happening out there next. So can we applaud our own courage, our own effort? And I know that one of these days I'm going to be able to get in camel, even if it hasn't happened yet, and it's not today. So I'm going to bring my mid-body forward and begin to fold the back over. And I'm going to bring my hands to my heels. I can do half. Courage. Thank you for your courage. and come up. Now, maybe that's just too much and we're not ready for that. So another way to do that is just place the hands on the hips and begin to fall back. And applaud yourself for whatever you could do. This left shoulder is my problem. So now I have my left shoulder, my left hand to my left ankle. Someday I'm going to get both. Oof. And come out. Oh. We're supposed to do 3 rounds of that and 8 breaths on each round. Well, we're not doing 8 breaths. Okay, one more round. Okay, this is going to be. So, can I appreciate myself for wherever I am in the going into the unknown? Wherever my courage allows, can I just appreciate that? All right. The body comes forward. The legs are really strong in this pose. And we begin to fall back. And we find our way to our heels. I'm coming out. I don't know about you. Wasn't 8 breaths. Woohoo! And come to hands and knees. And let's sit back in child's pose. There is the teaching that to develop our consciousness to be fully evolved, or more fully evolved, it requires relaxation. Interesting, right? So in some yoga practices, you take these little mini shavasanas throughout the practice, learning to completely relax just in a moment. And Dana, we did pigeon on Saturday, so it'll be a little familiar to you. And if you don't like pigeon, if pigeon is just not for you, you can always lie on your back, cross one ankle over a knee, and do pigeon on your back. But for now, those who want to try it, we're going to tuck the toes, come back into downward facing dog. Let's take some nice full breaths here. Ears alongside the arms. Lift one leg. Bend the knee. Bring the knee in toward the body. Float over, shoulders over hands. Bring the right knee to the right thumb. And then begin to walk the left leg back. If your hip is not going very low, or if you like, you can place a block or a blanket or a pillow or something under it. And then lengthen through the spine and begin to walk over that bent knee. So we come to identify ourselves by the external things that other people see, which we think they see it and we think they evaluate it, and maybe they do. And we come to feel lacking in some ways. And then we get really confused because we think that external stuff that we're seeing, that somebody else is evaluating, that in the external world is lacking, that's who we are. We get the true self mixed up with those external indicators of success in Western culture. But that's not who we are. We have a self within that's filled with love. We were created in love. We live, it's there. It's who we really are. So how can we not love the self? Let's come up. I probably kept you there too long. I'm going to tuck my back toe. I'm going to bring my front foot back. I'm coming back to downward facing dog. I've been doing pigeons a few times lately, and it's starting to feel good. The thing about pigeon is, you can learn how to be patient with discomfort in a pigeon. So if you're uncomfortable, can you be patient with it? And then can you take that off the mat and into the world? Let's raise the left leg, bend the left knee, float the body over the hands, bring the left knee to the left thumb. Slide. Is that what we just did? Okay. Okay, good. Thank you. All right. And lift up. So if you need something under the left hip, like a blanket or a pillow or a block, that's okay. Really lengthen through the spine before you begin to fold forward. Oh. Hmm. If you're feeling uncomfortable, if you're feeling pain, come out always. But if you're feeling uncomfortable, can you be patient with that discomfort? Can you be patient with those aspects of your life that kind of create ripples? Ripples in your relationships, ripples in your work, ripples in your home. Can you become patient with the ripple maker inside of you? Because that's not who you really are. I'm a ripple maker. Come up on your hands. Lengthen the spine. Tuck the back toe. Lift up. Lift the back leg up. Come back to downward facing dog. Bring the knees to the mat. And come up. So let's sit in the middle of our mat, spread our legs out. And with a long spine, engage the belly and walk forward. Keeping the spine flat, keeping the back flat, spine long. Come only as far as you can come without curving in like this. Inhale to lengthen the spine. Exhale to fold a little more. Maybe you'd like a block under your head here. That would be okay. Or a pillow or a blanket. Let's turn to the left leg. We're going to walk over the left leg in the same way. Keep the shoulders back and down. Lead with the sternum. Come only as far as you can come with a flat back. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale, maybe fold a little more. And maybe You might come all the way, maybe you won't. Can that be okay? Could you watch somebody else do a yoga pose like a magazine cover? And you don't do it like a magazine cover? And could it be okay? Let's come up, of course. Because I am patient with this body. I am loving toward this body. I give this body the same kindness and patience and wisdom that I would give to someone, to a friend I loved. Let's lengthen through the spine. Let's walk over the leg. Yoga is not about competing. It is not a spectator sport. Those people you see in twists, they spent 3 hours working yoga in order to get their body warmed up enough to do those crazy twists. So it's not realistic. And inhale to lengthen, but it's okay. We can love them for it, and we can love ourselves for where we are. And some days and some practices, we can decide to just back off a little bit. Today is the day I need to take it easy. And let's walk back up. Oh, come to your back. Time for Shavasana. So I like to lift my hips and tuck my tailbone under just slightly, but you don't want to get rid of the curves in your back. They're not, you should keep them. Separate the legs about hip width apart. Maybe the feet are falling out. Maybe the legs are externally rotated. Bring the arms to the side of the body. The hands are facing the sky. Now, the arms are about, actually slide the arms out about 30 to 45 degrees. And honestly, if it feels better for you to have your arms out to T, that's okay too. So, I take in love. I give out love. I take in love. I give out love. Relax, relax, relax. The mantra for the heart chakra is Yum. And we can try, we'll do some chanting of Yum when we come out of Shavasana. So bring the soles of your feet to the mat. Allow the knees to fall gently to the right. Using your right elbow for a pillow, come into a fetal position. As you breathe in, the air that comes into your body, the breath that comes into your body, color it, whatever is your favorite color. Know that it is love because the universe is love. And bring all that love into your body. Watching that colored film, atmosphere, fog, travel to every inch of your body. I take in love. I give out love. Using your right elbow and the strength of your left arm, gently, slowly, mindfully push yourself up to a comfortable seated position on a blanket or a bolster or block. And so the mantra, the vibration that is associated with the heart chakra it's spelled YAM. It's pronounced yum, and I thought we would chant that today. Um, Sanskrit is a vibrational language. It is through the vibration that energy is moved and transported to where it needs to be. So inhale. Yum, 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 yum. Bring your hands to your heart, thumbs against the sternum. We always close our classes by saying namaste. Namaste is a greeting, and in some cultures, that's how people will greet you. Namaste means the light of the true self that lives within me recognizes the light of the true self which lives within you. Thank you for practicing with me. Namaste.